Bruh, Pro Tools, they finally did it. They finally did what we've been asking for years. But also they did a good thing, but they did it the wrong way. They integrated Splice into Pro Tools. Avid, have they been listening to people finally? Are they listening? Does the guy that's coming out with all these updates need a raise? Do we need to, you know, give him a pat on the back or something? Because I feel like the last, like, I don't even know, like 5 updates have definitely been like game changers, but I feel like this is like this makes Pro Tools feel fresh, like for the first time in a long time. So let's jump into Pro Tools and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
All right, so it looks like Pro Tools, but there's one thing that definitely looks different, and it's this side panel right here. Now, I will say the thing that I said in the intro about my one thing where I think they kind of got it backwards. I will say though, I am glad that they did this for sure. Everybody is so happy. I'm super happy. I don't hate this idea at all, but I do think that this feature is an amazing idea, and it's definitely going in the right direction when it comes to production and just Pro Tools as a future DAW or whatever. It's like I can see the stepping stones. It's setting itself up to be something different with such an easy way of navigating using these tabs. I mean, obviously you see we got like an early iteration of this down here with like Melodyne and all the stuff they've been adding. But now here, not only do you have a clips window, but you have the splice window, which I'm assuming in the future they're going to have a workspace window, which brings me to my point is I think that they could have either done it together, like with the workspace tab and splice together right here, meaning like, there would be literally a workspace. So if you don't know what that is, it's just a place where you can navigate to get your samples that are on your computer, or it's just an external way of checking other folders in your computer, basically. Um, but I think this is where they kind of missed an opportunity. I'm sure they're going to come out. There's no way that they're not going to add that feature. And if they don't, that's going to be insane. But I'm 100% sure that they're going to add this in a future update, probably sooner than later. But yeah, I think it's something that they should have dropped together with the splice thing, or they should have done it first and then the splice. But like I said, I don't know. Now, seeing that this is out, maybe it really wasn't the worst idea to do this first, obviously, because it's been such an amazing part of this new update, and obviously everybody is like super happy with it. But like I said, I think at the end of the day that they should have done the workspace thing first, because I do know a lot of people that do produce in Pro Tools, and I personally, I'm like 50-50, but now I'm more on the 75. I'm stepping away from FL Studio. I've been like literally just cooking in Splice or in Pro Tools using this new Splice feature. So, I mean, as you can see, I'm already cooking up right now. Like I'm just like cooking up nonstop pretty much. But let me play you something real quick. Not, I'm not trying to show anything off, you know what I'm saying, but I just want to show you like how it works a little bit and how I'm utilizing it. So, just a little idea that I'm cooking up. But basically, I'm sure everybody's probably at this point has seen demonstration videos or whatever. But if you haven't seen anything, I will show you a quick new kind of, feature that they've added with this version of Splice. Actually, I think it's already been out. I know somebody will correct me on that. I think this feature's already been out, what I'm about to show you, but the fact that they were able to still put in Pro Tools. Like, sometimes I feel like when companies come out with such a cool little feature like this, they limit what you can do when there's something like this. Like they could have easily just been like, hey, we're not going to put this feature in there, but we'll give you the splice integration or whatever. But they didn't. They gave you the full plate of spaghetti. So basically what this does is like, let's say you're like writing, or in this case I'm writing a beat, writing an instrumental, whatever. But I'm just like, I just need something to kind of spark some ideas. I'm kind of like at a wall. So if you hit this, it's going to listen back to this section. And it does say in the fine print that it's not uploading any of your tracks to Splice or anything like that. So they're not keeping any of the information if people are worried about that, which is a good point. So it's suggesting that maybe I add one of these loops. So let's hit play. So you can hear, it's definitely like that one is definitely the closest that would fit in this track. Not saying I would use it, but you know what I'm saying? So this is kind of a cool way to just, get new ideas going, especially like I said, in Pro Tools because they're aware, everybody's aware that the production could definitely be the production, creation part of Pro Tools can definitely be way better. And they have been getting better. Their MIDI has gotten way better, especially with the live MIDI feature that they've added in a recent update. I think it was with this update or it was the one before that. But obviously, the splice thing being a huge deal because I think they're already like integrated with PreSonus or something like that or whatever their DAW is. I saw somebody say, but it is what it is. We're getting it now, and I think this is just going to like you could tell Avid is trying to go after every DAW right now. They're like, you know what? It's been too long. Let's go ahead and just start making all these crazy features and stuff. And I don't know. I feel like Pro Tools is definitely gonna be a beast in like a year. Maybe by next year it's gonna be a beast because there's a lot more stuff that they've rumored to come out with for Pro Tools or whatever that should definitely put it, is top. It's always it's always been top dog in my eyes, but now it's once they get this production thing figured out. Like I said, if they can get this workspace situation figured out, where you can just navigate your own samples, just like FL Studio, I guess is what I'm trying to say, where you can just drag your samples onto the timeline. Um, that's going to be huge, and I think that's going to be a feature that everybody's looking forward to, and I think everybody's speculating that's going to happen. Um, but otherwise, I'm not going to show you how to use Splice. Like, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you already know how to use it. If you do want to see a video of me cooking up with Splice and how the things that I've been doing to cook up, because there's some things that have been helpful. Like, for instance, I'll show you real quick. Actually, let me just do that before I end the video. So let's say I had like an instrument track, right? I'm going to make an instrument track because I'm able to put MIDI onto it, and I want to make the MIDI that it's going to give me in a second when I'm about to show you play through the keyboard. So let's say we wanted this Juno, and let's say we have this solo, and let's just solo our track. So let's say we like this, right? But we want to maybe manipulate it a little bit. We wish we could change some notes. We wish we could change the rhythm of it a little bit or the timing of each note in the piano. Or we also just want to change the sound of the Rhodes or the Wurlitzer or whatever it is. I think it's a Wurlitzer. Let's say we wanted to use our own. So what you can do, and this is like in Pro Tools, I won't say Pro Tools exclusive, but I'm just saying this is a Pro Tools thing that's been out for a couple years now. So you can take the audio, the sample, drag it down. It's going to use Melodyne because that is the only pitching program that I have. Obviously, besides Auto-Tune, but Melodyne is integrated as well within Pro Tools, so it allows me to break down the samples into MIDI notes. So we're going to keep polyphonic sustain because that's what's been useful. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with each. Obviously, I know to use like when to use percussive and stuff like that. We're gonna keep that, and then what it's gonna do, it's gonna break down it's gonna try its best, which it does very very well. So I'll show you. Right, and then here's the original sample. So it's pretty damn close. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's one way that I've been using, and I feel like cooking up in Pro Tools is going to be so nice once they get everything. I feel like they're like 85% there. You know what I'm saying? But having this built in and being able to break down samples and stuff and replay them, which is something that I've been doing, which is the reason I was able to like get this. I was able to just kind of take the root notes of the sample and replay them for some bass or some bells or whatever the case is. So I don't know. That's just a quick little, example of what I mean. But if you want to see more and how I've been able to manipulate the splice sounds instead of just dragging loops in and building a beat off of those, like, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely do like a cook up. I'll probably make one anyways, but you know what I'm saying? If it's something that people want to see, let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, hopefully this kind of piques your interest. And if you've stepped away from Pro Tools or you've been kind of dabbling on the recording and mixing side, but you've been wanting to cook up, I just think that being able to record, mix, and then finally produce in Pro Tools, I think that's going to make you like the ultimate engineer, producer, or whatever. And just in general, I think it's just going to make everybody better. And it's just going to be nice in the future to hopefully just stay in Pro Tools and not have to leave any DAWs or anything for the most part. But anyways, that's all I have. Like I said, if you want to see me cooking up with this new splice integration in Pro Tools and how I'm using it, let me know in the comments below, and yeah, I'll make a video on that. Otherwise, I have another mixing tutorial that I'm coming out with soon. It's basically just me using compression and stuff like that. But you know, if you want to see that in the future, it's just me overusing compression, but in a very nice way. It's just this new technique that I've been doing the past couple months. You know, everything's changing. I'm always changing the way I work and stuff. So if you want to see that, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, and yeah, hopefully you'll be notified and you tune into the next video. But otherwise, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.